So the last 7 days, we've just done 5K.
How long have you had your current store for?
So this store's been running since the start of March.
So about 3 or 4 months, 0 to 18,000 pounds a month. How has starting your e-commerce business impacted your life? Like what's e-commerce done for your life so far, Ben?
I'm finding that I enjoy life a lot more. If you're an ambitious person, which I imagine anyone who sort of watches these videos, they're looking for some ambition in their life, or they are an ambitious person. When you start this journey, it starts to fulfill that. I'm spending all this time building a machine that is making me money. This is a way out. Out of the matrix, if you want to say it, but it is.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to this very, very special video with none other than Mr. Ben Shaw. I've been working alongside Ben through the process of building, growing, and scaling Ben's e-commerce business via our mentorship. Now, Ben started in e-commerce with absolutely zero experience. Before we jump into things quickly, and I ask you to introduce yourself, Ben, how long have you had your current store for?
So this store's been running since the start of March, I think, just around that time.
So about 3 or 4 months, 0 to 18,000 pounds a month with his store within 4 months. So Ben has made tremendous progress, and we're using this call today to document his process, starting as a beginner in e-commerce, going from 0 to 18 grand a month, which for many people is completely life-changing. For Ben, it's been completely life-changing as well. Please, could you give some introduction to yourself? Where you're from, your background.
Yeah, so obviously my name's Ben. For the past 14 years, I've been a full-time firefighter. I'm based in the West Midlands. And then getting into ecom was just, I've seen all these people pop up. I saw James pop up and sort of having this life that I wanted to have. And I completely threw myself into it. And things are starting to take off. There's been trouble on the way, sort of thing. It's been a hard journey as well. Like, I've worked really hard. There's no doubt about that. Like, James has saw, like, I've had my account banned. I've had some failed stores, but the main thing is just the type of person I am is you just don't give up. You keep trying and you will get success.
Yeah, absolutely. And how much have you made with your store in the past week, Ben?
So the last 7 days, we've just done 5K.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And obviously, as a firefighter, what actually motivated you to start your e-commerce business and make that transition into the online space, Ben?
I think there's a couple of things. Like, so I've always been someone who sort of I could never sit still, and that sort of feeling was in my life as well. So I'd worked really hard to get into the fire brigade. I've gone up a couple of ranks as well, and I just found that actually my life just felt a little bit stagnant. Like, I'd sort of reached a tier in the fire service that I didn't want to go any further. And then actually one thing that massively changed it is my dad passed away. And that sort of made me really go, you just, when something like that happens in your life, there's this sense of responsibility falls on your shoulder. And I wanted to make sure that, one, I was living a life of purpose, but two, that I could provide for my family around me. Yeah. So one of the main things that with ecom is I wanted to sort build up a passive income that could support me, but not only support me, but support my family. And to be honest, mate, I'm like a Duracell bunny, mate. I just can't sit still. So I want to work all the time. I want to do something. And ecom, it excites me. It really excites me. I love it. It's all I think about.
That's incredible, man. What an incredible story. And you're absolutely, I'm sure, doing your father incredibly proud. So you should be so proud of yourself with this progress, Ben.
Cheers, mate.
What excites you about e-commerce? Because just like every e-commerce entrepreneur I've ever met, I can't stop thinking about it either. I'm in Bali right now, and it's 7 hours ahead of the time zones, and I've been staying up till 6 a.m. building e-com businesses at the moment. So I understand why, but what excites you about e-commerce, Ben?
Like, I think for me with ecom, it's having that full ownership, like working for someone else, working for Fire Brigade. Don't get me wrong, I've done some incredible stuff, but I also work for an organization. I work for the government as such, and it's not mine. Whereas when I create something with ecom, and this is really important for anyone who's getting into ecom. It's not about just finding some crap product and putting it out there. Like, the products that I sell, they generally add value to someone's life.
Yeah.
And I believe that like all the products that I sell, I would generally use. Before I sell them, I test them. My office upstairs is full of different products that I've tested myself. I make sure they're good. So I think the one thing about like ecom with the way that I do it, the excitement comes from taking something from nothing and then building it into this brand that people follow, they get involved. You end up building a little bit of a community with it as well. I spend a lot of time of my day actually on my social medias chatting with either potential customers or customers who have sort of enjoyed having my products or enjoyed the experience of interacting with us that have passed it on to their friends because they love what we're doing. So yeah, that's for me is what I love about it.
Yeah. It's actually having purpose and creating actual impact into the world and then making money while you do it.
Exactly, yeah. It's a win-win, massively.
There's nothing quite better. I mean,
Yeah.
how has starting your e-commerce business over the past, 4 months impacted your life? Like what's e-commerce done for your life so far, Ben?
So I think for me, like one, I'm finding that I enjoy life a lot more because I feel like if you're an ambitious person, which I imagine anyone who sort of watches these videos, they're looking for some ambition in their life, or they are an ambitious person and they want to
Yeah.
take that step into entrepreneurship. And when you start this journey, it starts to fulfill that. And especially like we've talked about this before, you get your first sale. It's the best feeling in the world, that you've achieved that. But I think for me, it's just given me a bit of fulfillment again that actually, wow, I can do this. I've got a real direction in my life, but I'm spending all this time building a machine that is making me money. And I imagine there's many people, especially in this economical climate, that is struggling.
Yeah.
And this is a way out of the matrix, if you want to say it, but it
Yeah.
is.
100%, man.
Getting paid is great, when you start earning money. But generally, actually hearing back from customers,
Yeah.
this is impacted them and they love this product and they recommend that product. That's a cool feeling because you know that you're not just putting crap out into the world, that you are helping someone while getting paid to do that.
To be honest, broke people don't understand. People think that business owners are just greedy bastards that
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
actually do anything. It's like, no, we're getting paid because we're solving problems.
yeah, exactly.
The name of the game with all of business. And
Yeah,
yes, there are people that make money out there selling crap products, but it doesn't last long. And
yeah,
someone who builds a long-term sustainable business where
yeah,
they actually create value, they're going to get more repeat customers, and it's going to last longer. Payment processors are going to be happy with them.
yeah.
Accounts are going to reward you more because, we're leveraging advertising platforms or payment processors that they know everything about the business and they know how happy customers are. And the people that truly deliver a great product are the ones that, stay in the game.
Exactly that, yeah. And people could name many brands they've gone back to at time, and it's for a reason. It's not just because they like that
Yeah.
product; it's because they liked one seeing their advertisement, buying the product, but then they liked everything else that they got from that, whether it was the packaging, whether it was the emails they got from them. But they went back to that brand because they're like, we really like these people, we want to be part of that brand.
Absolutely. Do you feel that you would have been able to go from 0 to 18 grand a month in e-commerce as a beginner with no experience, without the mentorship from myself?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I think it's the best money I've spent in terms of value I've got out of anything in life is getting a mentor. Like, and again, if with ecom, I would say to anyone, if you're gonna do it, you need to do it. Throw yourself into it fully, and it will pay off, guaranteed. But getting a mentor, especially like yourself, James, who gives you so much time, you know where what's got me to A to B is you've come in at that middle ground going, right, you need to do this, this, and this. And it's not all friendly chats like we're having now. You've been quite direct, which is what you need in business as well. You've gave me a clear path. Or if there's problems that I've created, you've gave me the solutions to get out of that. Which if you were doing it by yourself, it would take so long to learn. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah. Not only are you actually buying the success, you're buying time when you invest into a mentor.
yeah.
Because, I mean, how long do you think it would have taken you to get to the position you are in right now if you were doing it completely on your own? Or do you think you would even be in the position or have got to this
I
point?
wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't got the mentorship. There's not a chance. There's not a chance because there's problems. There's problems that I've had that you're not going to find videos on YouTube about it. Or if you are, it's going to be in a couple of videos. Do you know what I mean? You need someone who's been through that part of business, who's got the skills and the knowledge and has put the time in to go, right, seen this before, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably, I reckon it would take me at least 12 months longer to get to where I am now without the mentorship, which I've achieved in 3, 4 months.
Yeah. I love that, man. Well, it's a
Yeah,
testament to Ben's open-mindedness as well, and your ability to not only be open-minded and want to receive knowledge, right? And understand that you don't know everything, and there are people that can give you a clear path and invest into that. But most importantly, the speed that you actually execute everything that I lay out to you and we lay out to you through this process is also done very, very fast as well. And
yeah,
that's one of the keys is about receiving information from a trusted source and then executing on it without hesitation.
yeah,
Feedback and then going again and again and again and again. And that's what you've done so far and will continue to do. And that's why you're going to continue to be successful, which is awesome. And I'm just so proud of you, Ben. And I'm excited, most importantly, to see where we can take things from this point. And
yeah.
there's no limitations, man. And I'm excited to be a big part of it. I mean, what would you say to someone? There's going to be different people watching this, a lot of people who are watching this. They'll be curious about what e-commerce is. They'll be curious about the mentorship. They'll be curious about, if this is the right fit for them. Maybe they're stuck in a job right now that they hate and they just want to get out of the job as soon as possible. But what would one piece of advice that you would give to someone who was in the same position that you were in before you started within our mentorship and before you started in e-commerce?
Listen and action, like jump into it, listen with everything you've got, and then just action it. And look, everything in business, you have to be willing to take risk.
Yeah,
You know, you will test products that fail, you will have stores that fail, but it's about how you then bounce back. So if you want to change your life and you do want a difference, like drop shipping is not dead, e-commerce is not dead. Like jump in, give it a go. And if you throw yourself into it 100% and are willing to fail forward, is probably the way to say it. Like you will get success and you will earn money from e-commerce, no problem.
yeah. And I'm sure so many people can get value from yourself and your mindset and see where you're going to take things, which is the main thing. I mean, where are we going to take things, Ben? What's the goal over the next 6 to 12 months from this point?
I don't know because every time I set a goal, I seem to break it at the minute. So I'm a
Fuck
little
yeah.
yeah, I'm a bit lost. I
That's
mean,
it, a big one then.
yeah, I know, right? So, I mean, we're probably going to do 20K this month,
Yeah,
and the next goal for me is doing 10K weeks. So that's the next goal for me is 10K weeks.
I love
So, yeah.
amazing. Do you feel that from the mentorship and from working with myself that you have a clear direction and path to be able to achieve those 10K weeks, Ben, and actually far exceed that in the future as well?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Like when you first start in ecom, it is mind blowing because this is a functioning business. So there's a lot to learn. There's a learn fast. But like where I am now, I'm still learning stuff every day, but I've got the foundations, which is what the mentorship has given me. So it's given me those foundations to now start building in the direction that I need to go to actually expand this into a really big brand.
Yeah,
And it will. I totally believe in it.
yeah, 100%. I want to get to 10K days. That's going to
Yeah,
be the priority, Ben. 10K
yeah,
weeks we'll hit soon. 10K days is where it's at, for
yeah.
sure.
I remember the first time we had a phone call together when I was just joining. I said to you, you're like, well, what's your goal? And I was like, well, to be honest, I'd like to earn 2 grand a month. And you were like, that's ridiculous. You need 10K. And I like that thought in my head back then was 10K a month was just, there's not a chance. And now completely surpassed it. It is, I, I say it, I will say it, it's actually easy. It really is. Like people need to understand that when you've got the foundations in place, 10K a month is not hard. It really isn't.
And it's simple as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is.
Well, before we wrap things up, Ben, could you actually show your Shopify analytics on your store and drop a screen share for people
Yes.
from the day you launched this store? So from absolute zero to today, and just break it down, man. I can ask you a few questions. I'd just love to see the progression of your store from the analytics perspective. I'll blur all of the brand names so people can't steal your store, but
Yeah, so probably first of Feb when I actually started the store, but we didn't actually get going till March. That's just building the store out. Took a little bit longer at the start. So
so
yeah,
it's been a pretty non-volatile, steady rise up, Ben.
yeah,
It's a pretty good graph.
yeah,
I like to see it, man. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so
It's a nice slide.
it's nice, but it's going to continue going up as well.
That's it.
So, all right, March, we launched the store. Obviously,
Yeah.
you found a product. How did you find the product that you found, Ben?
So through the first product that I found was through TikTok,
Yeah.
making just a separate TikTok account, and then I just started looking at products constantly, and I spent hours. My eyes were burning from just looking at products. But that's how we came across the first one.
And then what was the process there? I just want to see your breakdown of how you approached doing this.
Right.
You've gone from 0 to 27K with pretty much 0 down months from the graph, and it's just on a steady ascent up, and it will continue to do so. So
Yeah.
you've done things right. So once you found the product, what was the next steps for you building your business?
So the first thing I did once I found the product, one was just validating it. So looking at comments, making sure customers are saying like, "I want this." They're tagging people. Have you thought about this? Making sure there's positive comments there. Then I started looking for competitors. So I did that just by searching the product through TikTok, finding sort of what businesses were selling that product, putting it into Google, using Meta Ad Library. So just finding that validation, that's the main thing is sort of, right, we've found a product, we just need to make sure that it is selling to a high level.
Yeah.
And then also as well, then you find the research of how people are selling it, what's working well, what's the ads going out looking like, how are potential people that are going to buy it reacting to those types of ads, and then finding the product. So I just went on to AliExpress, making sure I could find that product, sourcing it. At the time, I was using like a secondary dropshipper company. I think it was called Sourcing Box. And then found it through Sourcing Box and started selling it that way.
Nice. And how are you marketing these products, Ben? And for those watching, marketing is 80% of this game. First step, choose a winning product. Second step, sell the living hell out of that product until you make a lot of money. That's the process Ben's in now, is starting that process of scaling up big. But he's got that proven concept, and what you see in front of you, which is a steady ascent up from launch, is a visual example of what proven concept looks like. It's not necessarily the millions and millions yet, but this is the foundations that you need to look for when you're testing products, because this is exactly what you can see visually, that what we can turn into the millions and millions over time, and the 100K months and the 300K months. This is the start of it. And so that's why it's so valuable for you guys watching. But yeah, how do you market these products then, Ben? Just from your perspective, as a mentee's perspective, it would be great for you to share that with the audience.
Yes, I mean, so I just started with Meta, so advertising through Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
I basically took ripped ads basically from other competitors or from TikTok videos, changed them a little bit, put them together as my advertisement, and then started putting them at £20 a day through Meta.
Yeah.
Out to people. Yeah.
Boom. So very simple. Choose a winning product, set it up with suppliers, build a high converting store on Shopify. Shopify, for those who don't know, is the platform that you see Ben sharing his analytics with. It's the simplest and the easiest way to build a store. Okay, and that's what Ben's done. He's built a store through Shopify.com. And then now he's marketing those products that he's got on his website through Facebook and Instagram. Now, he initially just started with one product and he tested some meta ads. And as soon as his product was proven to be profitable, he started scaling the ad budget slowly with the profits that he's making from the business. And now he's using those profits to now test more products. Okay. And this is a process that you can rinse and repeat. And the better you get at building websites, the better you get at marketing those products, the more success you will find. And as I say, this is the visual example of a perfect proven concept with a store, with a niche that you can grow. Now, once you get to Ben's stage, which Ben has done in roughly 3 or 4 months, this is where the life-changing money can now be made from this point. And so, as any winner does, especially Ben, being a natural winner and someone who works extremely hard and deserves the position that he's in, because everybody who's in a certain position deserves it, especially in business. This isn't a time where, Ben making 5 grand a week takes his eye off the ball. In fact, this is the time when you need to put your eye on the ball 10 times further. Okay.
Definitely.
Every single thing that Ben does has the ability to double his income, to triple his income. And the beautiful thing about ecom is you just do it from a laptop. There's a Wi-Fi. I'm currently in Bali, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. And you don't necessarily exchange time for money. And so how is your mindset at the moment, Ben, knowing that you've got this foundation built, ready to scale into monumental success? Where is your head at from an action taking perspective?
Yeah, like you said, James, to be fair, like you just said then, when I first started getting sales, I did take my eye off the ball a little bit. I sort of sat back, and actually it is the most important time is actually right. Well, you've got the formula, you need to get more. And the difference is now, like I've got I'm testing a couple of products at the minute, but I've got another product on my store that's actually a bigger winner. And that's because you keep finding those products. But if you take one store from having a winner to having 5 winners, that's a massive increase in
Yeah.
revenue into your store. So for me, it is like every second I get to work on this store or on e-commerce and on myself, that's what I'm doing at the minute, because I know in 5 years' time, it's going to really pay off for me.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Thank you so much, Ben, for sharing your insight, sharing your knowledge and wisdom to those who are going to follow in your footsteps and build their own e-commerce business and work towards financial freedom. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you to you, mate. It's a lot of it's down to you. I've put the work in, but it's all down to what you've given me, mate.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.